Good morning, Dr. Kim.
Hello,
Thank you
morning.
for having you at MSA newsletter interview.
Yeah, thank you very much for your invitation.
Great. So, Dr. Kim, could you please briefly share your career journey, including your education and key milestones?
Yes. My journey began about 40 years ago when polymer engineering was still a relatively new and exciting field in Korea. At that time, many young researchers were fascinated by the possibility of creating entirely new materials, and I was one of them. During my graduate school, I joined the Biomaterials and Membrane
Mm-hmm.
Research Laboratory, where I studied polypeptide synthesis using amino acid and explored the three-dimensional structure of proteins. The experience gave me a strong scientific foundation in gas separation membrane and biocompatible membrane materials. After completing my PhD, I joined SK Chemical Company, and I would say those 20 years became one of the most important periods of my
Mm-hmm.
professional life. Yeah, Korea was actively pursuing localization of advanced materials, and I had the opportunity to lead the development of hollow fiber membrane at there. At the time, membrane technology was not well understood, even inside large
Mm-hmm.
companies. So we had to build almost everything from scratch, from membrane design to manufacturing process and applications. One of the biggest turning points in my career was realizing that successful membrane technology is not only about good science, it
Mm-hmm.
also requires process engineering, scale-up capability, manufacturing know-how, and marketing capability. Later, I worked in seawater desalination
Mm-hmm.
engineering company, and eventually, 2002, I founded my own companies, Pilos, and subsequently Wellspring. Yes.
Excellent.
So for the past 24 years, I have continued working both as a researcher and a businessman. What has motivated me throughout this journey is seeing how membrane technology developed in the laboratory can eventually create real impact in industry and society.
Very interesting. I think you already covered the second question, which was what motivated you to enter the current field of research, which is nice. So the third question I have is, what was your first professional or academic role after completing your PhD?
Yes. So after completing my PhD, I joined the company SK Chemical as a leader. So because at the time the membrane business is not growing, so only new ideas. So I took charge of the many opportunities to show my abilities. At the time, the transition from laboratory to the industrial research was shocking but extremely valuable experience for me. I learned very quickly from the industry, and I could find some valuable information from the experience. That period completely changed my perspective. I evolved from being purely a scientist into becoming more a process engineer. I realized that the excellent scientific results do not automatically become successful commercial products. Between laboratory innovation and industrial success, there is a very large engineering gap that must be solved through practical experience and persistence.
Very interesting. Uh, so what are the most exciting or I would like unexpected findings in your journey, in your research career and business sort of engagement?
Yes. Frankly, I'm very proud of my uh, experience to commercialize membrane in Korea, firstly. So one of the most memorable moments in my career was when our membrane team succeeded despite very limited support and
Mm,
understanding in the early days of the industries. So at that time, there are some companies too started the membrane R&D. However,
mm,
we won the competition. So
excellent.
yeah, the most exciting moment came when we successfully commercialized in Korea. And in 1992, we received the IR52 Jeonghak Award, which
Excellent.
was first major award in Korean membrane technology. So
Very interesting.
very proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you already my next question was what was your what was the thing that you are most proud of that? I think the award you mentioned and the challenge you went through to establish the membrane technology in SK would be something that you are proud of you and absolutely it's something that you should be proud of. Good job. The sixth question probably would be, what advice would you give to the early and mid-career researchers about, how they can potentially secure academic position or industrial type of positions?
Yes. Very good question. I have interest in the younger generations, the some mentoring. So nowadays we are living in the age of AI and
Mm-hmm,
unlimited information.
mm-hmm,
However, I believe researchers must develop something deeper than information itself. I
mm-hmm,
mean, including me, we must develop insight. My advice to the younger researchers is to continue asking why, even when
mm,
answers seemed obvious. Why did this result appear? Why does this
mm.
phenomenon matter? Why should society care about this research?
Yeah.
Also, encourage researchers not to follow trends blindly. Real innovation often comes from areas that are not yet popular or predictable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Yep. Very nice response. How can technically researchers can improve their chance of, securing research funding or, getting access sort of to the industrial funds? It's just let's say, uh, do you let's say if as a membrane company, when you wanna sort of support a research in a university or an academia, how they can approach you in a better sense?
Yeah, we also have carried the governmental and industrial project, more than 30 projects. It's very simple. I believe research funding is ultimately about convincing people that our vision has future value. It's very important. So we are developing something. However, somebody who wanted to invest must catch the future vision. To secure funding successfully, researchers must think not only as scientists but also as strategists.
Mm,
It's very important. Funding organizations are usually investing in the future, not only in current technology. However, they are finding the profit and beneficial point in their business. So
mhm.
we must be the specialist and the strategist too. I think so.
Excellent, excellent. I think the next question was, which is something that I think it's very fit for what you did over the years of practicing in research and business. So, what's your advice for researchers who wanna to move towards commercialization and entrepreneurship?
Yes, it's very important question. In my SK Chemical days, at the time, there wasn't a market, so I couldn't but cover all kinds of processes from the R&D, commercialization, production, after the sales,
Yeah.
and marketing, all kinds of things.
Yep.
Then I think many researchers believe that excellent technology automatically lead to business success.
Mm-hmm.
However, in reality, commercialization is much more difficult than most people expect. So I would like to suggest, recommend what I call a two-track strategy. The first track is survival. So I actually tried to earn money when I start the business. A company needs stable business activities that can generate revenue and maintain operations, even if those products are not the most advanced technologies. And second track is the long-term innovation,
Mm-hmm.
future development for the future business. Once the company has financial stability, it
Mm-hmm.
continue investing in high risk and high impact research that may
Mm-hmm.
define the company's future. We cannot invest the high risk and high return only. So we need
Mm.
two tracks.
Excellent.
So younger
Mm.
generation, the young businessmen must think of the survival first. We are
Yes.
thinking of the successful stories only. However, we must focus on the worst case too.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Um, so where do you think the research field in membrane heading over the next, 10, 20 years? Where do you think the next niche will be for membranes?
Frankly speaking, I guess I don't know where. So I'm not the professor or specialist.
So from industrial
However,
perspective,
I
so
believe membrane technology will evolve from passive filtration system into highly intelligent and adaptive systems over the next 20 years. One major direction is, in some sense, precisely engineered nanochannels. So nanomaterials is very famous nowadays, and I also agree with that. So I would like to suggest number one is the nanomaterials for the membrane. And another important area will be AI-driven molecular design.
mhm,
So the instead of using synthetic polymers, so nowadays we must focus on the new design for the active transport, even passive transport too. So with AI-driven designing the molecules and polymers in order to make the selectivity and permeability, I bet.
mhm, mhm,
And I think last one is the biomimetic membrane
mhm,
industries.
mhm,
So as you know, where nature has already developed extremely efficient transport system through cell membranes and ion channels. And in the future, we must resemble the biomimetic, the technology to cover the new areas of applications. Maybe
mhm,
ultimately, membrane technology will play a critical role in solving global challenges related to water, energy, sustainability, and resource, etc. So, in order to cover all kinds of technology, we need the special idea for the separation.
mhm, mhm. Excellent. I think biomimicry and biomimetic or bioinspiration is something that has a lot of value, particularly because nature spent millions of years to modify its filtration system. So there is a lot of lessons to learn from the nature. Um, Dr. Kim, the last question is our tradition to have a rapid fire question. So, um, if you weren't a researcher or a scientist in membrane, what other career or profession would you have chosen?
It is very interesting question. Frankly speaking, I don't like to solve the problem like the difficult mathematics equations. I like to find idea, in some sense, somewhat creative, I think so. So if I had not become a membrane engineer, then actually I want to be a, designer, industrial
Excellent.
designer. Yes. So
Yes.
even yesterday, I still enjoy designing the equipment layout and design outside. So yeah, it
Interesting.
is very fantastic. The field I like so much, and I also like so much to enjoy music. I like to playing trumpet
Excellent.
and have played the, for 30 years.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, for me, science, engineering, design, and music are not completely separate fields. They all involve creating something that is both functional and sometimes beautiful. So perhaps I would have been working in a design studio with a trumpet nearby and still trying to create something to develop. I think so.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. Kim, you are one of sponsor and supporters of Membrane Society of Australasia, and we always appreciate your support. And thank you for your time today. And I am pretty sure the membrane community will love this interview and will enjoy listening to what and reading what you just shared with us. And thank you very much.
You're welcome. I
Thank you.
also, honestly, very happy to make friends with your teams in Australia, and it was very meaningful experience to exhibit our product. And hopefully, I wanted to continue the cooperation and to participate in the membrane society in Australia actively together.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you
And
very
have a
much
good day.
today. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.